it was a joy to watch again.
Oh, technical difficulties. Hold on, I'm on it.
I think I got it.
Wouldn't it be funny if it just caught on fire?
Yeah.
I got it.
Just the tiniest little flame.
So,
What'd you do?
What'd you do?
It's alive! It's alive! Hello, you beautiful freaks. I'm your host, EJ Leeson, and welcome to a brand new Christmas episode of FREAKQUELS. And with me today is my co-host. When you jingle, he jangles. Rory Calarasi. What's up, buddy?
Not too much. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Doing awesome. How about yourself?
I'm so excited for week 2 of our holiday.
Yes.
Spectacular.
Me too.
You know?
Yeah.
How are you enjoying yourself on this little venture?
The Christmas stuff has been fun thus
Yeah.
far, as I like to say. Thus far, it's been enjoyable. Yeah.
And last but certainly not least, if he ain't mind sweeping, he's keeping. A person who doesn't believe in bedtimes. The youthful Vince. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, dude. How you doing?
I'm doing wonderful.
Good.
I'm doing awesome.
The sexiness in your voice is due to the influenza virus, I'm going to assume.
Yeah.
But just know that you sound great. It's a little
Thank
bit
you.
deeper. You got me like an octave lower. I love it.
And your amoebas floating around the room are really creating a vibe.
I
Yep.
can't wait to be sick next week because
know.
of you.
That green slime on our logo of FREAKQUELS is just my snot.
Yeah.
It's
from
just what's
this weekend.
coursing through his veins right now.
It's just actually everywhere. On the microphone, on Rory's microphone.
It's all over my face.
It's great. So did you guys catch anything new lately? Watch any new movies or...
You guys made me watch a decent movie. If you want to get started there, I'm gonna say it was decent. I enjoyed it, and this might be the first time. No. I think I said this about Totally Killer. I would watch this again.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
So that's the only thing you saw this week?
I'm trying to think if I saw anything else. No, I have 2 kids who are in dance class, full-time
wife
job,
and a house.
Bar that I was at for almost 14 hours straight. So no, I haven't. No, I did. I saw Air. Did I tell you that? I saw Air.
Oh,
Yeah, Air's great.
I saw Air with the little time I had, and I don't know why I did. I started so late. I started at like 12:30 at night. I was like, I'll just watch 10 minutes, and I watched the whole damn thing. But that was enjoyable.
That's a fantastic movie.
Fantastic.
Ben Affleck is
Affleck
a
was
fantastic
great.
director.
Matt Damon's always good, and one of my favorite actors of all time, Jason Bateman.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And he's wonderful in that.
Yeah, he's delightful in it. How about you boys?
Go ahead.
Oh, well, I didn't really get to the movies, so I actually because
you were
I
sick.
was working and I was sick and stuff, so I ended up watching a movie I've been dying to watch, and I kind of missed it when it was released in theaters, but I watched The Lobster for
The
the
Lobster?
first time.
Oh, yeah, that's a great flick.
Yeah,
Kind of.
Joaquin Phoenix.
for the most part.
Yeah, with Colin Farrell?
All the stuff in the hotel, that is amazing.
Fantastic, yeah.
I'm lost. What movie is this? Something and it's Joaquin Phoenix? No?
Lobster?
The Lobster.
No, what is this?
It's a very weird movie. It was recommended to me by an actor friend named Ben Knox, and I was like telling him about this movie that I'm working on and stuff. He was like, "Oh, you should check out the Lobster because the humor feels the same, right?" And so I was like, "Oh, I better watch it just in case I don't want to be ripping anything off." So I watched it, and I was like, I loved it. I thought it was it's very interesting, very unusual. It's not your typical.
Okay.
Did you
type of
see
film.
the director's follow-up movie, The Killing of a Sacred Deer?
No,
Watch that.
I know.
I love that movie. That is a weird-ass movie, but it's lots of fun.
After watching this, I'm so excited for Poor Things, and
Yeah. I didn't see it yet.
I didn't see it yet. I don't think it's out until December 22nd, I think.
Yeah.
And but I loved The Lobster, but like I said, all the stuff in the hotel is definitely my favorite. And when he kind of strays away and he goes to
Falls off a little.
yeah, just a little bit, not bad. But
Yeah, it's still solid, but the
But
first
all
half's
that-
definitely a little better.
that first half is hilarious. I literally was in tears at one point laughing at Colin Farrell is pretending to be something he's not.
Okay.
And he's with this lady who just has no feelings. Like, she's like doesn't feel anything, right? And she's very mean.
I know what that's like.
And so he's pretending to be the same. So one of his friends walks up with their kid, and he's like, I don't like kids, and he kicks the kid in the leg.
Kicks the kid.
It's so, I laughed so hard. It's just like, you have to see how it plays out, because it's weird. It's a very strange movie.
It's definitely one of those movies. It's great, but it's not for everyone.
Yes.
You can't recommend it to everyone.
Right.
I was gonna say, you know this about me. I like weird shit.
Yeah.
So
No, you'll like it.
Okay.
It's definitely the right kind of funny.
Okay.
And again, Killing of a Sacred Deer, I think I actually like that a little more.
Yeah.
But yeah, that filmmaker's he's just fascinating.
I'll check it out. The Lobster.
Yorgos is his first name.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What'd you
how to
do?
say his last name.
Anything cool? Did you see anything?
I did. I saw Silent Night.
Yes. What'd you
did.
think?
So, I think a lot of the criticisms that I've heard for this movie, I think is like a fundamental misunderstanding.
Yeah.
You know, because like I know a lot of people are complaining about how it's kind of like generic and it's a little like they're like, oh, there's no dialogue and stuff, and I'm like, So,
Oh wait,
when
you were telling. Okay, now I know what you're talking about.
yeah, when I was watching it, you know, I've definitely have seen the story before, like a lot, and definitely done better.
Mm-hmm.
But I was more just from a technical level blown away by like the visual storytelling, you know, like the ability not to have characters explain away the plot and you just show it visually. That's actually like real filmmaking.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
And I know like the plot, it's like to me it's like what's going on in the movie. I'm like, once I've seen the 4 John Wick movies, it doesn't work as hot, you know, it's not offering me anything new, but I don't care because I was just like, man, like that's a really challenging, neat thing that he did.
Right.
You know, it reminded
Absolutely.
me a lot of like when Hitchcock did Rope. You know, because like Rope had an interesting idea for a plot, but it was kind of like the framework for an experiment that he was doing, which was trying to make a movie all in one take. Granted, back then he couldn't really do one take because film cams would give you like 10, 11 minutes. So he'd have to change it, and he would kind of do like things where they would zoom in on the back of like someone's jacket or something and then
zoom
pull out. But and it was just like a really neat exercise, and sometimes I really appreciate movies like that. So I all the complaints I've heard about it, you know, they're not the same feelings I had. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I thought it was neat. It was a neat movie.
I thought the same. I remember going to see it last week, and I came out of it really impressed because it doesn't have dialogue and just like very like some communication through text messages and stuff, but it's like some of the shots. So there's a shot in the hospital that like you see the sunset and then like kind of rise again, and like no one moves out of like the spots, and it's just like such a great technical film, as like you were saying, like for directors to pull something off like that is kind of incredible just to watch.
It's like a thing that I think people are kind of playing down a little bit. I'm like, he did something really neat there. But again, I think everyone just gets really caught up in the dialogue part, and then just the fact that the story is something you've seen done before and better. But just on a technical level, I was just like, this is really neat.
Yeah, you know? It was fun, and it was funny. There was like parts where I was like, oh, that's kind of funny, you know what I mean? But it was a really well done script, story, and performance by the main actor too, because he had to like convey everything without saying anything.
Which is a kind of difficult, I think.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like most movies today, and people are just accustomed to it. They've been kind of conditioned to enjoy movies this way, where you have all the characters explaining away the plot, and that's not good storytelling.
What do you guys call that? Exposition?
It's an exposition dump. A lot of movies, not all movies, but a lot of them, they just kind of tell you what's going on all the time. But even like with myself, when I'm writing my own scripts, like I'll write like say like 5 pages, and there'll be like a bunch of dialogue, and then I'm always like thinking to myself, how can I say the same thing but visually?
Yeah.
So like when I'm watching a movie like that, I'm like, wow, like that's awesome.
Yeah.
Like good job, John Woo. Yeah. I hope your career takes off.
Yeah.
I hope that's not the last we ever hear of you.
He might make it.
Yeah.
He
Some might call that a mission impossible, but
But yeah, back to like the acting though. It's like watching a silent movie performer or performance, right? But you know, you have all the sounds of gunshots and
all the backgrounds
and stuff. But yeah, it is like watching a silent movie.
Did you laugh though whenever like they did have people like muttering things or like a motherfucker?
Yeah,
it's just
it
like
was
this
so
like
funny.
real weird sound.
they
But
do like a Charlie Brown effect.
it just would just be like they're talking, but it's like drowned out, so it doesn't really land the way that normal dialogue does. But you know, don't go into it thinking it's like a traditional movie.
Yeah,
it's just something that more filmmakers should try, which is like, you know, exploring your craft and not just doing, you know, cut and paste, copy paste,
not doing
copy
what he did
paste.
there, but just try something different. Give us something new.
I also saw Die Hard.
Yeah,
Becca, we
Hell
saw Die Hard. With
oh,
our
Becca's
friends.
here, by the way.
Yeah, she's here.
She's on her Nintendo Switch. We asked her to be involved. She said absolutely
she shot us
not.
down.
She shot it
She
down.
said I have to worry about my career.
She's actually leaving in 5 minutes to go be on a better podcast. It's called Spookquels.
Spookles?
But no, yeah, we saw it with our friends Camille and Dave, and seeing Die Hard on a big screen is awesome. That's all I gotta say about that.
Yeah.
But so that movie that you saw, good sir,
Yes.
you enjoyed it? That we forced you to watch?
The one that you forced me to watch. Here's what I'll say about this movie. This movie, the movie made me utter a sentence that I never thought I would ever say in my entire life, which is, Jesus, I hope this kid dies first.
Which kid? The main kid?
No,
one
not
of the
the main
twins?
kid. No, not the twins. The boy who
Howie
who just gives
Jr..
Max a dead stare.
Yeah.
Like, hey, how was your holiday? And the dude just like,
Yeah.
So like that weird
So
young,
that
that little Will Ferrell looking kid.
exactly.
Yeah.
When that kid came on screen and he got through, he didn't have any lines.
Yeah.
As soon as he got through that, I just muttered to myself, I was like, I hope that kid dies first.
I had a slightly different reaction when I saw that kid.
Okay, good.
Mine was Michael Dougherty understands funny.
Oh no, he does, but he also he knew how to trigger me. I'm like, that little kid, I know that little kid.
Yeah.
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 He actually looked like the kid from Trick or Treat.
He did.
The one,
The kid with the
principal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kid
yeah.
of vomits.
Yeah.
There's something about a square lip on a person that scares me a little bit. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Sure.
That little square.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is, but
he
like
definitely had like very
the
unique.
square lip, and that's not.
I know you don't like our one friend Square Lip Jim who hangs
Square Lip
out.
Jim?
Yeah, I know you give him
I
some
try to
weird
avoid him.
attitude.
Is that body shaming, by the way?
No.
I think
I just
it
don't
is.
think it's cool when he comes into the bar and you just purposely dump things
Hey!
on him and act like you did it an accident.
Yeah. Damn it, Square Lip Jim.
You've embarrassed him.
Yeah.
That was like his like bachelor party.
Yeah.
He was getting ready for the best day of his life.
His whole family
ruined
was
it.
here.
Yeah.
His parents flew in from across the country.
The
and I
Square
didn't
Lip
care.
parents.
Square Lip,
Square lip.
Square Lip James and Square Lip James.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
Square Lips.
Square Lips.
Square Lip
Square
family.
Lips. Oh god.
Square
But what
lips.
movie are we talking about today?
Well, today we are talking about Michael Dougherty's 2016
15?
15
Was
film.
it 15?
I'm on it.
Oh, he's on it.
To the internet.
I believe 15. I'm putting my money on 15.
2015.
Keep going because it's not
Hard
going to take
edit.
that long.
Film.
I gotta type stuff. Go ahead.
Krampus.
Give me a year. 2015.
All
Right.
right. Sweet.
Start over.
Okay. So, today we're diving into Michael Dougherty's 2016 film.
Nope, got it wrong again.
Oh, 2015 film.
No, and don't do it again. Just keep going from there. That's perfect. We took time away. We cut. That's perfect. Keep going.
No hard edit.
No hard on it.
2015. Got
If
it.
anything, I'm bringing the volume all the way up.
Yeah, you're just like 2016.
You made me look for it, and then I got
That was
it wrong.
that was a release date train wreck.
Oh man. No, we're talking about Krampus, which is kind of like an awesome movie.
Kinda.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think we're all going to be... This is going to be a weird episode because I think we're all in agreement on this, that this was a good movie.
Hey, everybody at home, when movies are really good, they're not fun to goof on.
No.
That's a fact.
Yeah. It actually was very difficult. I was like going through this, and I'm like, I don't have anything to say.
Yeah.
Because this is a pretty solid movie.
My notes are very bare.
I think we need to highlight what we find really funny in it. Like what they attempted to be funny, and we got it, and we appreciated it. Like they took. That's what I liked about this, is that someone took a direction and tried to make it a funny movie and interject some humor in it while still keeping it scary and a horror movie. Yeah. And the funny stuff was funny. So yeah. Bravo.
My notes are literally as bare as the nice side of Billy's naughty or nice list.
Ooh. Nice.
Reference to the last episode we did. You idiots.
You freaking morons.
I just want to say this. I think we have the worst fans. But we can move past that.
Let's get into the breakdown.
If you're listening to this right now,
you're going to torch.
I don't want to see you on the street.
Don't torch the 3 people that listen to us, please.
Right.
Leave
so,
them
like,
alone.
I can't make fun of us.
We're gonna do it anyway.
We just think we're so cool listening to our own episodes, and that's it. We're our fan base.
We're just running around, turning it on all the devices we can, so we get all the listens.
I made a podcast. I'm cool. But move on.
Let's dive into Krampus. So the film opens with people bum rushing a department store, set to the music of "It's Beginning to Look a Lot Like Christmas," and everyone is looking miserable, and people are fighting over toys. And I feel like it's just great commentary on what the holiday is now.
It is great. It's a great opening sequence.
Right?
The music was perfection. The slow-mo of people climbing over security guards and what we just
getting tased.
Yeah.
People getting tased, people being pulled by the hair in what we assume is a Walmart.
There's a shot that just sums it up perfectly. It's like the camera's kind of like going behind like a Christmas wreath, and it's framing all these people like hitting each other and like scrambling over each other for junk.
For junk, yeah.
It just sums up what the holiday became.
I believe at some point it's referred to as future landfill at some point or something like that. I just I appreciated that, and I thought that was a good comment on who we are as a people.
They also refer to that as new Disney movies as future landfill as well. I'm gonna cut that out because I don't want Bob Iger coming after me.
No, don't let them come out.
Hard at it.
If they pull us off Apple, we're gonna lose 2 listeners.
Yeah,
we're done.
I know Bob Iger's listening.
We know he's one. He got the bots.
Got the bots listening for him.
But yeah, no, it's
Bob's
really
like, he doesn't
fun.
like us.
He doesn't like us.
Oh my god,
that's a little bit. That hurts a little.
What if we get like gift baskets tomorrow?
From Bob Iger.
I was like, give us another chance.
I don't think that's going to happen.
You don't think so?
No.
What if that's my Christmas wish?
Yeah.
For Bob Iger to send me a fruit basket.
That and the fruit is all shaped like Mickey's head.
The mouse ears?
The mouse ears, yeah.
Bob, if you're out there,
first of all,
expecting that on Christmas Day.
Bob is out there. He's not listening.
Vince, I think you underestimate the power of frequels.
The reach, the frequel reach.
Yeah, the frequency, as EJ brilliantly put it in our last episode.
I love that name.
I swore to you that I was going to edit that out and steal it, but I left it in.
Oh.
For you. You get credit.
Thanks, man. You could have taken it.
No, man. You earned it.
No, man. You're the best.
Take this candy bar.
Oh,
you earned it.
It's shaped like mouse ears.
Yeah. Guys, secretly, I'm Bob Iger.
No.
Leader of the mind.
But yeah, so it's a really great montage, and the montage kind of ends where we see the main kid Max, and his parents are Tony Collette and Adam Scott, and Max is up on stage and he's beating up this other kid, and they're kind of running in slow motion towards him, and I actually love how it like pans out from that room where they're fighting and everyone's watching it.
They apparently are having a Christmas recital in a mall.
Yeah.
Yes, is that what they're doing?
Yeah, and then it kind of pans out to like the store, and you
see the people fighting over the
It's great.
Yeah. I like the sister videotaping it.
Yeah,
filming it on her phone. Yeah, she's hilarious in it.
She's great in this. She's phenomenal. But
if you think that's Nancy Wheeler, you're wrong.
Yeah, it looks just like her.
No.
It really does. So then we cut to the family at home, and Adam Scott and Tony Collette, who are kind of disciplining Max, their son, after he got into this fight. And we realize, like, Max is like, yeah, he said Santa's not real, and I was like, yeah, he's real, and I didn't want it to be ruined for other kids. And so Max knows, like, Santa isn't real.
I got a sense that he was kind of holding on for hope that he's real.
But I feel at like the same time he does believe, because we find out he wrote a letter.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
He believes, but he's embarrassed to let everyone else.
He's
know.
on the fence. Yeah, he doesn't want other.
I don't think he's on the fence. I think he's just kind of like, yeah, Santa's not real.
I gotcha.
But he wrote him a letter.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And so we also find out that their cousins, like their extended family, is coming and to stay for the holiday. So Max starts to chat with his grandmother after like the parents kind of like walk away.
Omi. I loved Omi.
Omi's the best.
Omi's the best. Everybody wants an Omi, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like how she's like making all those cookies, and Adam Scott's just like, he's like, oh, don't worry about it. She bought a bunch of them.
Yeah.
It's like
killing the traditions. Like
like it's all infecting it.
Yeah.
All the like corporate crap is just like infecting all of like what Christmas is supposed to be.
It goes to what we talked about last week, in the sense that making the cookie, the experience of making the cookie, is the whole part of the Christmas season. Because like I know my kids used to love making cookies with my mother, and it's just like, I don't know, we just bought them. It's easier. Just buy it.
Yeah.
It's faster.
And you lose something.
You lose something in there.
Right.
That's kind of almost like the point of the movie in a lot of ways. Because that shot I was talking about before, like with the wreath and all the people beating each other up and like that holiday spirit being absent. It's almost like one visual summing up what the movie's trying to say.
Exactly.
That's why Michael Dougherty needs to come back.
Did
For all
Michael
you people
Dougherty
out there
leave
who
or something? Did he?
He did Trick or Treat. Did you ever see Trick or Treat? Oh, we gotta watch Trick or Treat. That is one of probably.
What year was that?
This
was
is like
2009?
2000. Well, it was like 2007, I believe, but it came out in 2009.
So are you saying
on
this
video.
guy's not making movies anymore, or?
Well, the last movie that he did was that Godzilla King.
Oh, Godzilla versus Kong.
No, it was like King of All Monsters.
Oh,
Yeah.
The
That
King
was
of
the
Monsters.
second one where
They gave him the
King
keys to the
Ghidorah
Godzilla
shows up, and it's
franchise
awesome.
Oh,
yeah.
But anyway, no, he's a great filmmaker, and he hasn't made anything in a while, and it's such a travesty because he's very good behind the camera. Camera's always moving. He knows how to work with actors really well because he gets great performances out of every single actor in the movie.
Everyone
Yeah.
in this movie.
And Trick or Treat also, like it's the same thing. Like that, I know it's like when you think what is the definitive Halloween movie, and your answer is always gonna be like Halloween, but I think Trick or Treat kind of bumped it a little bit.
Yeah.
I think Trick or Treat's fantastic.
wow,
It's really
this
good.
dude's got. Wow,
I think
young,
he wrote
too.
the Superman movie too. Superman
Yeah,
Returns.
Superman Returns.
Yeah.
He did
X-Men
a couple of
Apocalypse.
X-Men movies he wrote
Yeah.
for Bryan Singer.
Trick or Treat.
Yeah.
Well,
Superman
we don't have to talk
Returns.
about that.
Oh, he's X2.
Yeah.
Yeah,
X-Men
which for the
United.
longest time was one of the greatest, not X movies, but comic book movies in general.
I
X2
could
is
see
awesome.
Bryan Singer teaming up with this guy and making a banger like X2.
Yeah.
Poor choice of words, but we'll move right past that.
Yeah, let's.
Oh, really?
Let's get back into.
I also have him in an upcoming production of Hellraiser as a writer.
Ooh, really? I wonder if they're continuing the Hulu Hellraiser.
Who
maybe?
cares?
Who cares? You know what? Who cares?
Right?
Right.
Do
Yeah.
you care?
No.
Like,
Give it to Michael Dougherty. It'll be like amazing to see what he does.
Or-
Are
a little
any
bit.
of those good? Are any of
Hellraiser?
the Hellraisers good?
yeah, I've seen all of them.
I'm
Even
not-
the crappy
I was gonna
direct to
say,
DVD ones.
I know for a fact you've seen them all.
I have.
Are any of them good?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think they were super creative in their early days.
Yeah.
And Doug Bradley's just like a joy to watch.
Is it also one of those things where just like the makeup and scene design? set
No,
design is-
Clive Barker has a wonderful imagination, you know, and that especially that first Hellraiser. Like, I'm not gonna say when you watch it that it's like a perfectly executed movie,
But it's got a lot of cool
it
shit?
kind of is.
Okay.
It's like very, very specific and stylistic.
Okay.
So some people might watch it and be a little off put by it, but when I watch it, it's like it literally is like a work of art, in my opinion.
Yeah. No.
Go to hell, Vince.
Yeah.
As soon as I can raise it.
The first Hellraiser is definitely my favorite, and then the second one is on par.
Yeah.
I think it's just as good, and then it kind of tapers off a little after.
Yeah,
that.
3
Yeah.
kind of got infected by MTV.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll tell you what. I'll only watch them if you make me.
Okay.
Next week on FREAKQUELS.
Yeah. So So now we see where the extended family arrives, and it's Tony Collette's sister, Linda, her husband Howard, and they're kind of like your typical cousin Eddie and his kids in a weird way.
Very Christmas Vacation.
That
Yes.
vibe of when the doorbell rings and it like ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. That vibe that I got, I was like, oh, I know what they're doing, but I like that. And you just knew just from that, without any introduction to the characters, they're gonna be shitty people. You're not gonna like them.
Yeah.
Well, all their expressions
Yeah.
say what you need to know.
Yeah, it was
But
wonderful.
Howard,
Howard
every
is-
scene he's in, that actor in
He's-
general,
he's
like,
one of
David Koechner.
Yeah, Koechner. I love him.
Koechner? Is that how you say it?
I actually, you know what, man? For like about 5 minutes, I've been wanting
Champ.
to say his name, and
Yeah.
I'm like too embarrassed because I don't know how to say his last name. So I've just been like, yeah, I like Howard.
Yeah.
But yeah, Anchorman, he's hilarious.
Champ.
Champ kind,
kind.
yeah.
God.
Whammy.
Whammy.
Yeah, it's just everything. He's one of those people that really, if you see him
In a
the
movie?
movie, you know, and there's like he always delivers.
Him in Waiting is
Oh.
he was great. He was great in Anchorman.
Yeah.
But him in Waiting, he nailed that character because
Yeah.
I worked for him. Like I
Yeah.
didn't actually work for him, but that character.
You know that guy.
I know that guy.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
worked for him. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a movie Mike Judge did called Extract.
Yes.
And
Hey,
did
guess
you
who's
ever
in-
see that?
Jason Bateman?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen it.
And one of the funniest scenes, one of the hardest times I ever laughed in a film is he's this very nice neighbor. He's kind of like Ned Flanders in a way in the film, and he goes up to Kristen Wiig, and he's always like, "Hey, how about that weather out there?" Right? And then she's like, "Shut up! I hate you! I hate your guts! You're terrible! I hate everything you say!" Because he's always overly positive, and he goes like he grabs his chest and he starts to fall to the ground, and then it's a cut scene to his funeral. And I laughed so hard in the theater. It was like
It was perfect.
It was so perfect. It was so good. But yeah, he always enriches the stories.
Everything that he's in.
Yeah.
He's a John
definitely
Goodman.
is.
Everything he's in, he's good in. Yeah.
Oh, excellent.
He's just like an interesting looking guy too,
yeah.
He's
He-
typecast, but
and in the
Well,
best way possible.
yes.
In the way that you want to be
yeah.
typecast.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they like remade Christmas Vacation, he would be the perfect cousin Eddie.
Yes. I agree.
100%.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say Rusty Griswold, but that's fine.
That's
It's on
fine.
different pages.
But so the kid, he has his kids. He has 4 kids, and 2 of them are twins, and Howie Jr. and then a baby. I don't think they ever say the baby's name though.
Baby.
Baby.
Yeah, baby.
Baby.
And
Baby.
so they also bring Aunt Dorothy, and Tony Collette is not happy to see her at all.
And Aunt Dorothy is. Do you have who Aunt Dorothy is played by?
No, I don't know.
She's fantastic in
She's
everything.
a great
love her.
actress.
Waterboy. I mean,
No.
Wait.
No, you're looking at Kathy Bates and Waterboy. Go.
Yeah, yeah, that's Kathy Bates.
Watch your
man.
mouth.
Wait, what am I talking about? I don't know. What I'm
Wasn't
talking
she
about.
on like 2.5 Men?
She was,
or
yeah.
something. Yeah, right.
Yeah, she's.
Okay.
But just,
Wait, she was definitely in an Adam Sandler joint. Yes, she was in Mr. Deeds. Wasn't she the restaurant owner? Or-
that's Kathy Bates. No, I'm kidding.
Move on before I get more. Before I dig a deeper
Before
hole.
we move on, just one real quick thing. Kathy Bates is awesome, but move on.
Yeah. And so
Thank you for putting.
Yeah.
within
Hey,
the
Kathy,
first,
if you're listening, come do an episode with us.
so within that first 5 minutes, the audience can see just between like interactions, their very brief interactions with their own family, that these people are all annoying. And they're there in the first 5 minutes, and you're just like, oh, okay. Like, this is what a great writer does. He could introduce characters, and in 5 minutes, you know who they are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and so Howie Jr., just like this quiet little weird kid. The twins are kind of like bullies.
He's
Those are
drinking the
girls.
2-liter at the table.
Yeah. And you know, he's definitely like a far right kind of like
Gun nut.
gun nut. Yeah. And then he also has like a huge like Hummer
Yeah.
outside, and that he arrives in. And Aunt Dorothy, you could just tell, like, even her, she's just like complaining as soon as she gets there.
You know what? Once to tag on to something you were just saying about the good writing aspect, they're annoying, but they're terribly human.
Yes.
They're not like sometimes when people try to make like characters like that, they go way over the top and they don't feel like human beings. They all just feel like people you've known at one point.
Oh, 100%. In family members that you might
Yes.
have yourself, you know?
Yeah.
I'm fairly certain every mom has like an Aunt Dorothy.
Yes.
I'm just saying.
Tells it like it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And mom just doesn't like that.
No, mom doesn't like that.
Mom's not a fan.
Why would mom like that?
Yeah. Because even like she starts complaining about she's like, I made all this stuff and all you do is complain, you know?
Yeah.
Toni Collette is phenomenal.
She's always so good. I was like watching her last night, and like she makes these like little facial expressions here and there, that like these little throwaway things, and she always just feels like a real person to me.
Yes. Yeah. And,
It never
and
feels like
it's
she's even trying when she's acting.
I
She's
know.
so natural.
She could do so much with her face, or
Yeah.
like facial expressions, that is like you don't have to see the rest of her. She's just doing so much, and with these like minute, details in her face.
Her and Adam Scott have a scene later on, and we'll get to it, but where I was like watching them, I'm like, they're so good.
Yeah.
Like the two of them are just like bouncing off each other. It just feels like they're like a real married couple.
Yeah, they really do. And so at dinner they get into some gun talk by David
Because that's
Koechner's
what you
character.
want to talk about at Christmas dinner is
That guy's
politics.
bringing it up.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's
Howard
gonna find a way to
he's
get
gonna
that
find a way.
conversation going.
He's like, Howard, what did you do again? And he's like, I was in
Eagle Scout.
Eagle Scouts. Oh yeah, that's right. And it's just like so like ready for conflict, like just bringing this up, insulting him in his own house. You know,
They like invited him over.
right?
There's a scene midway through the movie where he compliments him and he could have stopped, but he throws one more line at him. Which is like, you didn't have to say that, but okay,
You
yeah.
didn't have to say that. Yeah, it's
is
just
perfectly
Adam
timed.
Scott again.
This cast is fantastic.
Yeah.
Hands down my favorite thing about this movie is Adam Scott is fantastic, and yeah, everybody on this is great.
Yeah. And so they're at the dinner table and they're talking, and one of the cousins, one of the twins, they steal Max's letter to Santa, and they start to read it out loud, and things turn very awkward, leading to Max getting into a fight with his cousins.
Did you find all that very sad?
Yeah,
I found
it was
myself really like feeling for Max.
I think
know.
you felt an embarrassment for him.
Yeah, that was like really
Yeah, it was well
built
done.
up,
Yeah. And I could see like if it's very cringeworthy because like if that ever happened to one of my kids, I would feel like mortified for them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just it's an emotional thing. You're literally putting your feelings out for everyone to see. But someone took it from you, and they're doing it for you, which is even more messed up.
But it's funny because like the girl's reading it, and then she accidentally hurts her own feelings.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like, my dad doesn't think he doesn't want us to be boys. And like the thing
No,
is,
yeah, he does.
For the listeners at home, if you do see the twins, they are very like tomboyish, where their hair's cut short and one's wearing a hat.
The
and
first mention
flannel.
of them is, they're upset because the Steelers lost.
Yeah. It's phenomenal.
What's their names? Oh, it's like
Stevie
Stevie and
and
Jordan. So they're like
boy names.
yeah, they could be perceived as boy names.
Yeah.
So like that's
It's like
very
Michael Jordan, best basketball player. Let's name my daughter Jordan. You know.
Yeah, they feel very real to me. Those people.
Yeah, and that's again credit to Michael Dougherty's script, right? And his writing is all these characters feel very tangible, like real. You could reach out and touch these people because you know people like this. You know what I mean? So,
And I also think that you remember that age, that kids that age are freaking ruthless. They don't give a shit about your feelings, and they don't care about consequences. If they want to hurt you or cut you down, they don't care.
We do that on Freakquels.
We do that. We cut most of it because I cry.
Yeah.
But
There's so much footage of you crying.
so much crying.
Yeah.
and
I'm
me
usually
laughing
dehydrated
about
when I
it.
go home. Yeah. It's a lot of
Yeah.
tears, guys.
Dude, I have it on a loop and I just laugh at you.
You're going to go somewhere else.
No.
It's my ringtone.
Yeah.
I heard that. I thought that was... How did you
That's
even
you
do
crying.
that?
Oh.
Yeah, I just you were crying in the corner, and I just
You recorded
it. Yeah.
That's a lot of effort because then you had to go download the app and edit it out and
No,
do the levels.
I took a video and I just
You
used
just
the
put that
audio.
on loop?
Yeah.
Vince, you remember when we had that special guest? It was that girl that you had a crush on in high school, and
remember.
we just embarrassed you in front of her.
You pulled my pants
until you
down. That was
cried,
not
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, and then we read your diary out loud while your pants were
How
still
did
down.
you even get that diary?
Yeah. We
Yeah,
got
I
it
don't
though.
know. We got it.
It had a little code on it too, like a 3-digit code. How did you crack
we,
the code
we
to
ripped
open
that
it?
bitch apart until it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your secrets aren't safe.
Why do I keep doing that?
Oh, by the way, we're having a new podcast called Vince's Diary. What a bitch. Moving on.
What a bitch. No, that should be what it's called. What a bitch. Moving on.
No Riz.
No Riz.
Oh wait, before you go forward, because I think we already passed it in the movie. The first time I saw this in the theater, and then when I watched it last night, it made me laugh. The family photo, and there's like the pervy Santa Claus,
Santa staring
like,
at the-
leering at the daughter.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Like
so
Toni
funny.
Collette's face is like it's a I don't know.
No, she's got
It's
great emotions.
hysterical.
Yeah.
She says something without saying anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's great.
Yes, she's amazing, and like everybody, even the daughter Beth,
Yeah.
for the minutes that she's in this, right? She's not in it long, spoiler alert, but as much as she is in this, that whole dinner scene, she was such a good,
Yeah.
good big sister.
Yeah,
right?
she was a good big sister. And I love, his list is not too far off. You know what I mean?
Right.
I wish I could hang out more with my big sister. I wish my parents still loved each other the way that they, whatever that was. I wish that aunts and uncles didn't have it as hard. That's legitimate shit that, is relative today.
Makes Max very compassionate.
And that's one of the
Why
things
you
I
care
loved
about him.
Yeah, one of the things I loved about the story writing is that you right away you care about this kid and you hope nothing happens to him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But because of these movies, you know something's gonna happen.
yeah. So Max
the
gets
nature.
into this
Oh wait,
fight.
one more thing.
Oh yeah.
At the end of the note, I don't know if you guys. I made sure to pause it. At the end of the note, he writes, "Thank you for Omi."
Yeah, I saw that.
That's a
Yeah, that
adorable-
melted my
that.
heart.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh my god, yeah,
Oh my God.
Omi."
Oh me. Oh me God. Sounds like a Boston accent. Oh my
Or
God.
like Wisconsin. Oh my
Yes.
God.
So they get into this huge fight, Max and his cousins, and eventually he runs off to his room, completely condemning Christmas. He's like, I hate Christmas, I hate you guys, and I'm going to my room, right? And so he goes upstairs, and in his room, we see Max, and he is about to rip up his letter.
He's about to mail it, and then he has a second thought.
Yeah, he talks with Adam Scott there for a bit, and he's like, Dad, why are they like this? He's like, hey, sometimes we just have to give family a try. He's like, do you believe everything you're saying? He's like, I would like to.
Which is great, because
It's
at
such
a
good-
certain point, he's like, we deal with all this shit with our family, and he's like, why? And he's like, well, because we're family. But then he's also like, well, why do you do that anyway? And he's kind of like, why do I do this?
I love when he's like, we just have to survive another 3 days. He realizes it as he's
What
saying
is about to happen to
Dude,
him.
that line right there, just whip an Oscar at him.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
great.
Just for that one line.
And so he had Adam Scott almost convinces his son, right? He almost gets him to come back
to believe again.
and believe again, and he exits the room. So we see where Max has the letter, and he actually folds it up, puts it in the envelope, and he's about to seal it, and he just has that moment of frustration, and he realizes no, screw this, and so he grabs the letter and he rips it up and he throws it out the window, and we get this cool shot where he's in the window, and we see
The paper fly away.
up into the sky, and this huge storm is
Cloud moves
approaching.
into the town, and
Yeah.
It was neat how it blew past that feather from Forrest Gump.
right by it.
Yeah, I see
I
that.
noticed. I saw that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's now Christmas Eve, and it's a complete blizzard outside. They wake up the next day, and
How did you guys feel about the snow in this movie?
Oh, it looks good.
Because I loved the lighting in the last movie. You guys had a complaint about the snow in the last movie, but I thought it was good too.
Oh, and Black Christmas, yeah.
In Black
it didn't look
Christmas,
great.
yeah, it did.
So on that Deadly Night, that was like legit snow.
When I saw them trudging through the snow at one point in this movie, like knee high, I was like, these guys are going to love the snow in this movie.
Yeah. No, dude, in general, I felt like the whole outside look of everything was very
great.
claustrophobic. You're outside, but it
you
feels
still felt-
claustrophobic.
yeah.
I also
Yes.
made a note about the sound design in this movie is like immaculate.
God.
I had it
Yeah.
so like I have like the surround sound going when I'm watching this movie last night, and it just feels like it's everywhere. Like it's so good.
There is a crunching of the snow that sounds, it's a weird word to say, but it's delicious. Like when the hoof hits the snow and crunches into it, it's really good. I know what you're saying.
That would be a good Muppet Christmas special. When the hoof hits the snow.
When the hoof hits the snow.
Would that be good?
That sounds like a Dylan song.
Yeah, it does. It's like,
Hoof hits the snow.
when the hoof hits the snow. Dad, I'm out here trying to work on the wallflowers, and you're in there just talking about hoofs on snow. So we have, this blizzard that's happening, and the power is actually completely out, and we hear a delivery man who is there, and he's dropping off some boxes, and Linda answers the door. It's like, oh, are these also the packages?
More presents.
Yeah, and so the delivery man's like, oh, it might have been the boys in brown. And so they, like, take all the packages in, and we see where Adam Scott's daughter...
It was like a Trojan horse kind of thing.
Yes, yeah. Because the packaging, you could tell, it looks like it's not very
It's a satin
Of this world.
or of this world.
It fell out of a fairy tale.
It's a velvet or satin sack filled with toys. Yeah.
Yeah.
UPS doesn't ship that way.
Like, Santa Claus is looking for his bag,
Yeah, it's missing.
Right. And so they take it in, and Adam Scott's daughter, Beth, she's like, hey, do you mind if I go to my boyfriend's? It's only a couple blocks down. And he's not answering his cell phone or anything. I just want to go in and check, and I'll be back home tonight, right?
Yeah. The mother is concerned, and the father's like, just get her out of here. I don't want to deal with her.
Yeah.
Also,
Too much family in this house.
Let's go down one.
So
Go ahead. Go off into the snowstorm where we're going to lose our power any second now.
so Beth, she walks towards her boyfriend's house, and we see firsthand how dire and dangerous the storm is. And she encounters Krampus, who is jumping like rooftop to rooftop, and almost like the Predator, right?
Yeah.
And
Or Batman. Or the Crow.
And jumping rooftop to rooftop. And this scene is amazing. And it ends, of course, where the daughter is taken by Krampus, but the noise it's making, like you brought up the sound design in this film and stuff, but the sound that Krampus is just making as he's like kind of having joy, like jumping roof to roof, like kind of like tracking her down. This whole scene was, I just like was super creepy, claustrophobic, like you said. It just felt like she had like nowhere to go. Houses are just iced over, and icicles just like everywhere.
Nowhere to run.
And she comes across the delivery van where she sees that the guy's dead.
Mm-hmm.
And
Frozen solid, I believe.
yeah. And
Don't they docked him a day's pay for that?
I don't think he cares.
yeah.
I'm just saying. It's companies.
Yeah. But it,
I like the Jaws vibe of this movie where they
Yeah.
don't give you Krampus right away. They don't give you a big scare at the beginning of, hey, this is our monster, be scared of it. It's like ominous throughout the entire thing.
That's usually the way to do things.
Which,
if you wanna
once
do
I-
it effectively, it's like you just sprinkle it in a little bit up front, and then as it goes along, you get the reveal eventually. But give your friggin' monster a little mystique,
Yeah.
Michael Dougherty understands that.
He gets
yeah.
it.
I've said this since like I saw Signs, right? Like way back when.
Wait, did Michael Dougherty do Signs?
No.
But
no.
he saw signs.
Oh, okay.
I saw.
I think.
Yeah, but it's always scarier not seeing,
Not
than
knowing.
seeing.
It's yes. It's like
Your imagination is way scarier.
if you go to the doctor and he says we have to perform tests, it's way scarier not knowing what's going on with you than having a negative diagnosis. Like, if you go to the doctor and they say, "Oh, you have whatever," like, okay, I have to deal with this moving forward. But that time period where I don't know what's happening is way scarier. So,
Are you talking about some weird thing that happened to you?
Yes, syphilis.
Are you revealing us a little bit about your
syphilis?
syphilis?
There was about 2 weeks where I didn't know if I had syphilis or not. The blood work was out there.
You were like putting your issues into this episode.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So
you're putting yourself out.
Yeah,
there.
that's what I'm saying.
It's like, you ever feel like maybe you shouldn't have slept with that random stripper?
He was handsome.
He was handsome.
Oh, that was so good.
But yeah, no, this is so good, and I love how when she's first looking up on the rooftops, she sees something
like a silhouette,
and it's just really. And she can't really make it out, and then all of a sudden that little silhouette starts to stand up, and then she's like, holy crap, and she tries to make a run for it.
That's kind of big, but as he stands up, it's like, oh, it's even bigger.
Yeah, it's that reveal is just so cool. But it's not really like we don't see Krampus, just like pretty much the silhouette of Krampus.
It's almost like a phantom.
Yeah.
You know, that's off in the distance. You just don't know what it is.
Yeah, and like I said, that the noise he makes,
it's like a cross between a howl from a wolf and the T-Rex sound that you get from Jurassic Park. Just like a mix of that.
That's kind of one of the things I liked about the sound design. Generally, very smart filmmakers do this. They take the sound design and it's almost like a character itself.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. You know?
Yeah. And all props. Get Michael Dougherty back on a project.
Oh my gosh.
The world needs him.
He is. He's on Hellraiser. They're going to make a TV show.
Make a Krampus 2 or a Trick or Treat.
Wait,
Trick or Treat 2 is. We are in dire need of that.
Yeah. Yes.
Because that's like. I would love to see more stories from that guy, but let's go.
Yes. So we go back, and the family is starting to grow concerned when Beth isn't back, and especially Max. He's the one that brings it up.
And makes you love him even more that he's concerned about his sister.
Yes. And so he's like, Dad, Beth isn't back yet. Isn't that like concerning? And then like the dad and the mom.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The dad says it just to convince himself, I think. Not even to convince his son, but just like, no, she's okay.
She's okay. Yeah. So Adam Scott, asks his brother-in-law, Howard, if his Hummer could actually drive through this weather, the snow, and those two set off going through the snow, and they come across a snowplow that's like completely abandoned, and they do see that the keys are in it, and this plays into something
a little foreshadowing.
Later. Yeah. Back at the house, Toni Collette and her sister start chatting by the tree about they lost their mother, and she's like, oh, the star, did Mom give that to you? And so they're like kind of bonding a little bit at this point.
That's some of Toni Collette's best acting.
Yes.
Is that scene?
That's why I wanted to bring it up, because it really is. She's so good. And her sister, too.
They were both really good.
Yeah. Both great actresses. And I know the sister more so from the show Fargo.
Yes.
Season 1. And she was like incredible in that show. And she's just as good in this too.
But she doesn't have that Toni Collette money.
I know. I guess not.
I'm gonna flash forward to the very beginning of the movie just to say, as soon as I saw Legendary films, I was like, this is gonna be good. Regardless, I knew once I saw that, and not only that, a Christmassy Frozen Legendary symbol. This is gonna be a good movie. Yeah.
Yes, and as they're bonding, they suddenly hear some footsteps upstairs and some like stuff rambling upstairs, and so they're like, oh, maybe it's squirrels. But the grandmother, Ami,
not squirrels,
is like, that's not squirrels.
Yeah. She knows.
That's nuts.
Yeah, that's nuts, you guys. So
what?
Good. No, good.
Over to Adam Scott and Howard. Him and his brother-in-law, they're looking for Beth, and her boyfriend's house is like completely trashed, and they iced over.
Yeah,
it's kind of like it looks awesome. The set design in this is incredible. It's really, really cool. Not just like the house, but this house in particular
looks
awesome.
I would use the term convincing.
Yeah.
In the sense that, like, if there was a blizzard and the doors were left open, which the house was, that's what that house would look like. So it was very convincing.
You know what else is neat about that house is that when you get in there, it looks like a really interesting movie occurred.
Yeah,
because there's like
already,
like you look around the room and there's like a gingerbread man like stabbed to the refrigerator.
Yeah,
and you're just like, man, there's a good flick in here too.
Yeah,
like if the movie happened in that house, it would be just as good.
And you see, like, in the wall, they're like, oh, maybe, like, a water, like, a pipe broke or something.
Yeah.
And there's this huge, like, hole in the wall.
Busted out where Krampus came down the chimney. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Phoebe Cates' dad in Gremlins.
Right. And so they're in this house, and that's when, you know, they hear in the distance Beth yelling. And she's like, ah. And so they...
Wait, how was she again? That was perfect, dude.
Yeah, sounds just like her.
Sounds just like it.
I should double for her in other movies where she yells.
You should call her up. I mean, I know Bob Iger's listening, so maybe
he'll get you on. Yeah. He'll pass it along.
I could be her stand-in.
Yeah.
And so we hear her yelling in the distance, and as they run after her, well, her screams really. Howard gets pulled into the snow, and his leg gets, like, pretty much mauled.
By some sort of snow worm, is what we're going to call it at this point? Yeah.
It's some kind of snow-type graboid, I guess, from Trimmers. And
those sandworms from Beetlejuice.
Oh, yeah. That's
Beetle
perfect.
guys.
And so his leg, he's getting pretty much pulled into the snow, but luckily Adam Scott... they both armed themselves because just in case, like Howard's like, oh, let's bring some guns.
And because, of course, Howard has guns in his Hummer. And, of course, Howard drives a Hummer. But, yeah.
You know what's funny, though? I mean, just a little interjection. I like how at the beginning we were talking about how Howard is, like, all, like, obsessed with guns. And they kind of make it a little, like, silly. But then you get to a point like this in the movie, and everyone's like, I need the guns.
We need those.
That's what's like, I like that.
God,
it's like balanced writing. It's not like
yeah.
oh, people who like guns are stupid, or it's just kind of like, well, now they're necessary.
Yeah. And I love when they do go to the Hummer and they pull out the guns, right? And he has the shotgun and he hands like this, you know, huge handgun.
It's a 48 Magnum, I would say, yes.
Yeah.
Something of that nature.
Dirty Harry gun.
Yeah, it's a Dirty Harry 48 Magnum.
And he's like, oh, wow. Adam Scott's like, this is pretty heavy. He's like, yeah, that's Linda's gun.
This is my wife's gun. Yeah.
And,
wait, lines like that are just, they're so
good.
He had a name for the truck. I love that he had a name for the truck. I forget what it was. It doesn't matter, but like I love that he was sad and he referred to the truck as a person. It was
great.
Great.
Was it Betty?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Everybody drove a car at some point that they named Betty.
I think it was Young Vince.
Young Vince, yeah.
Wait, is that a Hummer reference?
Yeah.
And so so Adam Scott actually saves him. He shoots this snowworm, I guess. And Howard's like, wow, thank you.
I didn't know you were capable of that.
Yeah. And we see like this new found kind of respect for Adam
Admiration
Scott.
for him, yeah.
Which is nice that it feels earned.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like I love stuff like that in movies where they're not just like, it doesn't feel forced.
Right.
It's just by like action dictates character.
Yeah.
And, you know, like a real movie.
How does that?
And even in the house when it was looking pretty dire, like the whole situation, he does have a great moment. Howard, he's like, don't worry, man, we're gonna find her.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's just a very human thing.
The sister has a moment with that too. Like, your daughter Beth is a strong girl. She takes after her mother.
Yeah.
Which just you humanize each other.
They
and,
hate each other and like the way the family does, but then when shit hits the fan, they're all just like there for each other.
I think that's what the father is talking about with family. Is like, oh, Jesus, you know our family dynamic. Any of us would do anything for anybody if it came down to it. So I think you get a little bit of that sentiment in this that most people can relate to it.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's, again, great writing in this. And it's so hard to, like, you know, goof on this movie because it's, like, really, really well made.
But it's fun to talk about it because it's such a an underrated little gem.
Yeah,
Yes.
it has a ton of fun moments in it.
And I would
Yeah.
love it. I mean, if people listen to these episodes and they've never seen it, watch it.
Yeah,
Because it's great.
Yeah, hopefully we
Don't
get that
listen to
from it.
us talk about it. Go watch it for yourself.
Yeah.
Watch it.
And then listen to us again and tell us where we're wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe
Right.
send us your social security numbers.
Yeah. And write to the FREAKQUELS podcast at gmail.com.
Yeah, just
if you
give us
wanted
all
to.
your bank information and
Speaking of which, Elle said that we need to look at our email and see that she wrote us
yes.
something.
Yes.
We'll get there. Go ahead.
I wrote
No,
that
keep
down,
going.
actually. I
Oh,
wrote
it's in your notes?
I was like, we have to check our emails.
Elle,
'cause-
we didn't forget about you.
Yeah. Adam Scott saves Howard, and they try to make it back to the Hummer, and they see it's like completely
The Hummer's on
destroyed now.
fire.
Yeah, it's like destroyed.
Good
It looks
Lord,
like
it's
it
a
was
fire.
Smashed in.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh no!" And he's like,
Whatever the name of it.
Yeah.
He's sad about his truck.
And so they make it back to the house, and everyone's like, "Yo, what happened? What's going on? Your leg is like completely mauled."
So I have a thought on this, and I don't know why this is my thought on this. When they get back to the house, Adam Scott in a beard looks phenomenal. And when his beard holds just a little bit of snow, oh my God, what a handsome man.
do you need a moment?
If I could.
Vince is now pulling out his phone, looking at a picture of
Adam Scott.
with the beard.
The cones. You
and
forgot about the
slightly
cones.
iced beard.
So there was actually a couple of minutes that we actually just edited out of the episode where we had to get Vince
We
under
needed-
control.
You needed to give me a break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, Vince, take a walk. You're upsetting
I'm
us.
cooled down now. I'm good.
Okay, good. So the kids are with Aunt Dorothy, and they're waiting in the kitchen because Adam Scott's like, "You guys go to the kitchen." Aunt Dorothy watched them. She's like, "I hate kids." I was a kid and I hated kids. You know?
Yeah, great
Even
line.
when I was a kid. I
Great.
hated it.
Yeah. And so she reluctantly agrees. And as they're in the kitchen, they're discussing like an escape plan. Like, oh, what should we do? They're like, well, the Hummer's all busted. Like, they act like we don't know who did this.
We think we can get to the snowplow. There's the keys in the snowplow. This is the plan. You're going to follow us. We'll
Right.
plow a path and so on and so forth. And then they get 5 feet.
Yeah. So they're trying to decide what to do. And then Adam Scott throws out, like, guys, we should stay put and board up all the windows because we don't know what we're really dealing with. And
I like how Howard says that they were out there for like 4 minutes.
Yeah, when
you
they
know?
were.
And then to me in my head, I'm like, well, when your daughter's missing, put 4 minutes into it and give up.
yeah.
Don't get a parka.
And they're like, Adam Scott's like, let's wait out the storm, and then hopefully tomorrow morning we could go try to find Beth.
Go find her frozen corpse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we were already at her boyfriend's house. She wasn't there. Where else is there for her to go?
That's like one of those things that hits me in a weird way, though, is that it's like, I feel like the family bond maybe melted away a little bit there for her, because they were just kind of like, she's gone.
She'll be fine.
We'll find her.
Yeah.
We'll
Maybe,
see.
maybe not.
She's gone. We got plenty of kids in this house.
There's at least 5 more kids.
Yeah.
In there. So the
Baby will
grandmother-
be named New Beth.
New Beth.
Yeah, the little baby
Yeah.
is New Beth. So we see where the grandmother, she's insisting to keep the fire going no matter what. And
Keep the fire high or something like that. Yeah, keep the
Yeah.
something like that.
and so Howard and Adam Scott have that moment where they kind of like, he's like, I would have been a goner if it wasn't for you. And Adam Scott's like, yeah, no big deal. He's like, I used to think you were like what did he say? Like a sissy?
Yeah, he was like, I you really earned my respect because I really thought that you weren't capable of that. He just like,
Yeah.
whatever you just said, you could have stopped right there and not said. You didn't have to say anything else from there. You could have just left it there. But then
Yeah.
he just throws a backhanded compliment
but
at him.
completely in
Yeah.
character.
Which
There's no
was
like
great.
sentimental.
Oh, no.
Right.
like-
Yeah, that he shouldn't have said that line, but that line for comedic purposes was perfect. Yeah.
It's perfect. And Adam Scott's reaction, again,
Yeah.
perfect. And so
He's like that dad that like after you like your basketball game, like you play the best game of your life, and he's like, you didn't mess up too much.
yeah,
he's like that dad.
so true. And so he's like, you know what, Adam Scott, go ahead, go catch some winks with the fam. I'll keep like first watch.
As soon as he said that, I knew exactly what the next cut was going to be.
And it's
Yes.
perfect.
And it's perfect is right, yeah.
Yes.
That's like a hard.
So he says, I believe he says, I'll take first shift. Shepherd's got to care for the flock. What is it?
Yeah.
The shepherd's got to care for the flock. And he grabs binoculars, he peers out the windows, and then cuts to him fucking sleeping against the window he was just peering out watching.
Both times elicited a very loud laugh.
That's great.
Yes. Yes. And we also see the fire is out in the
Yes,
fireplace.
dwindling, nothing but charcoals.
Yes. And we see something kind of lurking.
I also like the iPad about to die playing the music.
Yeah.
Sorry, not iPad. The tablet. I'm not getting specific with any brand here. Apple,
Right.
if you want to sponsor us, by all means. But the tablet dies, and the music that's playing creepily was perfect. And
it's so
then
good.
it zooms in on 1%, and then you see the tablet die, and then that's when all the creepy shit happens, which I thought was built up anticipation perfectly.
Yes.
Almost like a signal or something. Like once the Christmas music dies, that's when
Yeah.
they're like. It's almost like
If
holiday
possi-
cheer
yeah,
keeps
possibly.
it at bay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so good. Damn. Again.
Hey,
great
that's why we
writing.
do this, baby.
Yeah. So we see where this chain is being lowered into the chimney.
And this,
on it is
I
like this
never
little,
expected any of this from this movie. I never expected any of this, and it's just great.
and we see this little gingerbread man attached.
I didn't
And-
think there was going to be an animated, adorable gingerbread man.
And so little Howie Jr. wakes up,
Square lip.
square lips, and he walks over and he grabs the gingerbread man. He takes a bite out of it.
Out of his head, yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't question it
Anything.
at all.
No.
Yeah, he just like wakes up, he's like, oh, gingerbread man, sure. And he just eats takes a bite out of the head. And then it wakes up and it's like, ah.
The
The
face
gingerbread
it makes is
fantastic.
Yeah, it's just like you're not ready for it the first time you see it.
No, it was great.
And it's amazing. And so the little gingerbread man grabs that chain with a giant hook around it, and he starts just wrapping it all around Howie Jr. And he's like, like trying to like fight it off, but this little gingerbread man is like a little too fast for him. And so we see, Howie Jr. takes the bait, and
Nice.
that's when Adam Scott and the mother, the grandmother,
Howard Sr. wake up and
yeah,
see
they
what's
all
going
wake
on.
up and they're all like trying to, Toni Collette grabs Howie Jr. and she's
Kind of
got
gets
him.
dragged up the chimney with him.
Yeah, and then she only lets go when the little gingerbread man goes to like take a bite out of her face or whatever.
Yeah, he snaps at her like a
Yeah, he's like,
chihuahua or
"Rah."
something.
Yeah, and so she's like, she gets freaked out, and they lose Howie Jr. Up the chimney. And what a great scene! Even like the last shot, you see it, Howard Sr. like looking up, and he now feels responsible because it was his watch.
It was his watch, yeah.
Yeah, and that's when Adam Scott's mother, after this all transpires,
Omi.
she tells the family about the legend of Krampus and how she encountered him before when she was a child. And it's in this awesome, like, shadow puppets, use of shadow puppets and
Was it claymation?
claymation.
I
And
love that.
I love this whole background story.
When they do stuff like that, it's
awesome.
Dude,
looks
it
great.
became like what Martin Scorsese would call cinema.
Yeah, no.
And
It
it's
was
gorgeous,
This was
and
one
it's
of those.
and
Yeah.
it's just it's one of those, again, like one of those things you just see it and it's like it's so impressive.
You can
Yeah.
give it whatever one you want, but it made me feel like. Did you ever see Coraline?
Yeah,
It
Yeah.
gave me that kind of vibe, that the creepiness of that, of the claymation, the stop animation. It was great.
Yeah, so I would say it's like a mixture of like A Nightmare Before Christmas, right?
Yeah.
But then also has like some classic claymation stuff like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer,
it's
right?
very
Yes.
much in line with that. I think.
Yeah.
And so it's a weird combination of those two, but it works so well. And it's really cool because, like you see this transpire and it's really what happened to Ami, but the way she tells the story, it feels like a story, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the way it looks is like a traditional like little children's book, and you're like looking through her memories in
Yeah.
a weird way.
And it was, I feel, the perfect length. Like most of that stuff that it could go on too long. It actually gave me. It kind of reminded me of the animation scene in Kill Bill where what's her name?
Yeah, dude, it's so weird you said that
because it was the perfect
Orange
length.
Yeah.
Of the exposition that you guys always say, you got exactly what you needed to get out of it, and then it was over, and it was
knew
right
when
back
to
to the
leave
movie.
the party,
and it didn't feel like two separate entities of like, oh, there's this thing, and then now we're switching back to the movie. It all felt very linear and fluid.
I wanted to mention that. So just to keep track of where we're at right now, so Michael Dougherty introduces something that's akin to Christmas Vacation.
Yes.
Right? We have an animated gingerbread man.
Yes.
We have this beautiful, like, stop-go shadow puppet sequence, and none of it feels out of place.
No.
Like, he is, like, just mastered, like, the tones, like, all that stuff. It just works together so beautifully, and that's why I just use Michael Dougherty.
Yeah. Nothing.
And God help you, Hollywood, if you remake Gremlins and you don't give
use
him
him.
that project.
Yeah.
And if you do, get out of his way.
Nothing ever feels like it doesn't belong in this movie.
No,
which
it all
is great.
It's just all it goes like it all just feels like it's supposed
Sewn
to be
together
Yeah,
by
perfectly.
like a
Someone that knows what
Master
they're doing.
craftsman
yes, seamless.
with so much personality and like his movies to me, they feel like I can kind of get a sense of who he is in real life. That's what I really like about his movies. Like he just seems like he's like kind of got like a dark sense of humor. And,
Yes,
you know, but it's like he loves like holidays.
Right.
And no one makes holiday movies better than Michael Dougherty. So bring him back, Hollywood.
Bring it back, yeah. Let's get some more
Hashtag
from him.
bring back Michael Dougherty.
Just so you know, according to IMDb, you are getting a Trick and Treat 2 or a Trick or Treat 2.
Yeah, but I've been seeing that for about 10 years now.
Yeah.
And it's just a shame, dude, because one day we're going to watch Trick or Treat. And, dude, you're going to just be so blown away by it.
Better than this?
I might like Trick or Treat a hair more.
Okay, I'm in for that.
But I'll say this: think like you know, like what an anthology is.
Yeah.
So think.
No, explain it to me.
So think Pulp Fiction
Okay.
meets like Halloween, the season of Halloween.
Okay.
Perfect description.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Let's move on.
Well, no,
Because I don't know how to take compliments.
One cool thing I noticed about this movie is in Max's room, there's a mask on the wall, and I'm pretty sure it's a Trick or Treat mask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you notice that some of the sound effects in this movie are from Trick or Treat as well?
Yeah.
Like with the one monster when it screams, it sounds like the way that Sam sounds when he screams.
Was
Yes.
it the teddy bear or the Jack in the Box?
It's a very specific sound. Moving on.
Yeah, but so Howard, however, hates the story, and he calls it a bunch of crock. And
A myth.
It's now Christmas Day, and Adam Scott.
They're down 2 kids.
Yeah, they're down 2 kids, and Adam Scott is drawing up this plan, and he has like a little map, and he's like trying to figure stuff out.
Now, I'm not sure if we got to this part yet, but the snowmen in the yard.
Right.
Is that each person in the town that has been killed by Krampus? Because when Square Lip gets murdered, there's a new snowman right in front that kind of has the Square Lip kid look to him.
Really?
So is that a thing, or did I make that up?
So
I never
possibly,
noticed
it also could be like
Because there's more. At the very beginning,
Yeah.
remember, Max sees the first kid, and he's like, what is that doing there?
possibly.
It could be the
Possibly.
That's interesting.
That could have been
Could've
the
been the
UPS guy or the boyfriend or whatever, but like
Right.
the more and more snowmen turn up, and I'm wondering if that's like those are Krampus's kills on the
or like
Yeah.
taunting them.
that yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's interesting.
That's really interesting. I never thought of it
Because
as like.
do you know that the little kid or the smaller snowman that shows up right after Howard Jr. is killed looks kind of like Howard Jr.
Yeah,
which is
I
hard
have
to
to go
do.
back and like kind of look at that
Yeah.
now
Yeah,
and
once-
see if they look
Okay.
like their counterparts. You know what I mean?
Once
Yeah.
I get out of rehab, I'll check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So
You should focus on other things, but okay.
No, man.
If you want to watch this movie, then that's
Yeah, I
up to
think
you.
I need to. It's
Yeah.
more important than getting better.
right. And
Go
so,
on.
meanwhile, upstairs, Tony Collette's sister, Howard's wife, Linda, is coming across some strange gifts. Like she's like, "What is this thing? Like it looks old, right?"
Yeah.
And But downstairs, Adam Scott lays out the plan to get the tow truck and return to pick the rest of the people up. And he was going to go at it alone. And Howard's like, you can't.
Howard's
go out
not
there
having
alone.
that.
Yeah, he's like, no way. And as soon as they're discussing this plan, we cut over to Howard's twin daughters, Jordan and Stevie, yeah. And they are venturing upstairs because the downstairs toilet...
shitter's full.
Yeah, shitter's full. And Aunt Dorothy clogged up the toilet. So they think they hear Beth's voice. And so they actually run up towards the attic. And the rest of the family hears the twins scream from upstairs because we got like that cut to downstairs and they hear the screams. So they all rush to the attic, except they tell Howard, stay downstairs and protect Max and everybody else.
And the auntie to hold the child.
Right.
Because that's her job now.
That's her, yeah. And so downstairs, Howard, however, he hears a noise in the kitchen and he goes to inspect, coming across a bunch of those murderous gingerbread men.
Great scene. What a great scene.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
So funny. And then cut back to the attic. Now, this creature is probably the creepiest in the whole movie, I think.
The Jack in the Box?
Yes.
Yes.
I
100%.
think it's like...
I don't know. The bear, a little bit. The teddy bear is a little frightening.
Yeah. I don't know.
That
The
Jack in the Box.
So...
Schworm.
In the attic, yeah. Adam Scott and Toni Collette find a Jack in the Box. And, by the way, to describe it, it looks like a snake, right? That's
I'm
out
just
of the
getting
box.
something now. Was that the Jack in the Box that Beth saw when she was underneath the delivery van? Because remember, at the very end, you see Krampus, his feet come down, and then there's the Jack in the Box.
Yeah.
Is that the monster that technically kills Beth?
Oh, maybe.
Probably.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just getting that now.
Maybe
Becca,
Yeah,
wait,
she's got
guys.
it.
Becca
Oh,
is shaking her
You know
head.
what?
Yes.
I bet. Okay, so I bet that's the one that's delivered to the house, right? Because she didn't leave yet.
No.
So there's one Jack in the Box up there, and the other one that attacks Howard later on is the same Jack in the Box that got Beth.
We're taking this apart.
Okay,
a
that's
little
great.
more than we should, but
Right,
nevertheless.
yeah. But anyways,
I like the fact that it's like obviously like demons taking the form of Christmas toys.
yeah.
I think that's so creative
Yeah.
and neat.
I loved the teddy bear. The teddy bear was adorably disgusting.
They just took
Yes.
like these like classic ideas of like what Christmas toys are,
Yeah.
and they put demons inside of them.
Right.
Which again, I just say, Michael Dougherty, come back to us.
Yeah, the
Underlying
Jack
theme.
in the Box, like its mouth. So to describe it, it kind of has like a predator
I was gonna
thing.
say very predator.
And it's devouring one of the twins, Jordan. And we see like its feet sticking out of its mouth as it's like trying to swallow it. And it looks like a giant snake.
It does.
And it's so cool. So they go and they try to attack the thing. And but they also get attacked by this very toothy type of teddy bear and this weird angel bird toy.
Yeah.
That thing was creepy in
Neato.
itself. Yeah, it looks awesome.
All the designs in this movie, like all the creature designs, just like top
so
notch.
good. Yeah, seriously. All the Jack in the Box just looks so. I don't know. There was something about it that I was like, wow, that is.
It's like something you want to like own, like a prop.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
It's so weird looking, but I love it.
I know.
Downstairs, Howard kills a couple of the gingerbread men. He shoots a couple, and then there's one that's just like he misses, and it jumps up in the air, and we hear we think Howard's done for, and we just hear, and it's the dog.
Did he
actually.
shit talked?
Yeah, that he was shit talking
Yeah,
before.
that
You
dog
little coward.
came in and saved him.
Yeah.
Don't shit talk dogs.
Don't do that.
No.
Don't
Yeah.
do that to any furry creature.
Even when you're like mean to them, they still have your back.
They have no idea
don't
that you're
be
being
mean
mean
to
to them. Yeah. But
Walk into
attic-
traffic if you disagree with me.
Yeah.
Go on.
So in the attic, things take a turn for the worse until Linda sees her one twin on the ground tied up in like Christmas lights, and she goes beast mode, mom mode, right, as they call it later
Yeah.
on, killing almost killing the bear and the angel and the little robot creature.
I would call it a mini rampage because
Yeah,
it was.
a mini rampage.
She wreaked havoc in that attic. She got that baseball swing with the
She
axe.
had all that pent up thing from cooking and cleaning the house, like she said at the beginning, losing her daughter.
In all of these movies that
she's like Wolverine in his berserker mode.
In all of the movies that we've watched, I feel like if you have an axe, you feel a little bit safer. Just not much, like more than a knife, more than a gun. I feel like if you have an axe, you're gonna be in good shape.
Well, let me ask you a question: do you prefer a gun or an axe?
Oh, I prefer a gun. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Moving on.
Axe. I don't. I would like the axe.
You would like the axe?
Yeah. I'm like Laurie Strode in H2O.
Right.
The most badass shot in
I
anything.
I was going, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia when Mac has the sword, but Charlie has the gun. No, I'm just going to follow you back and forth. You could zigzag all you want.
Yeah,
he's so good.
No, bang, bang, bang.
I've been watching so much It's Always Sunny lately.
Dude, No. You got to move on.
Stay on topic.
If we get stopped here.
So
Because I'm going to say Frank Reynolds and we're going to stop. But go on. Keep going. Get me out of this.
So she goes and she ends up rescuing Stevie, and they hear the Jack in the Box scrambling in the walls, and they send Rosie the dog after it. Like Max is like, "Go get her, Rosie," and so Rosie goes into the vents, and he goes after the Jack in the Box.
He literally sent this dog to his death.
Yeah, unfortunately,
A little bit.
Yeah,
But it's funny because I think the movie is creating this thing in your head that the dog's going to take care of business.
Yeah.
That's very Michael Dougherty.
Which kind of did.
Like any other movie would have the dog like scare the monsters, and you just hear the dog yelp, and you're like, yep.
Yeah, and so Aunt Dorothy. Well, first off, so they hear the Jack in the Box, and then it crashes through the ceiling, and that's when the other monsters show up, like the bear and the angel. And Aunt Dorothy gets a shotgun. She gets 2 confirmed kills, like right out of the gate, like just like bang bang.
It's impressive.
Yeah, and then they're like, "Do it, Aunt Dorothy." Right?
Finish it off.
Yeah, finish it off. And she's about to, but they hear this like weird horn noise from outside, and then all of a sudden, all these elves, and the grandmother is like, she knows the sound.
The elves are coming.
Yeah, and she says it, and
Not a line in Lord of the Rings.
Oh my God, that's what I was going to. When the orcs are,
and so
was it the Battle of Mord? Let's not get too nerdy into
Helm's
this.
Deep, is it?
Might have been Helm's Deep.
Hey, Al, correct me.
Yeah,
I need your help.
Come on, Al.
She would be the one to know.
Al, are you in my microphone?
She's emailing right now. She's like, "Oh, these sons of bitches."
These guys,
I'll show them.
You fucking know your shit.
Dancing on Tolkien's grave.
Yeah.
Go on.
And so they hear this noise.
Dancing on Tolkien's grave. That was great.
Just like
like a little,
a little shuffle,
Yeah.
little twerk. So why? So suddenly these elves show up and they take the baby, and the Jack in the Box. They kind of like wrap that up and take that too. And Aunt Dorothy too. She gets wrapped up in chains, and it's really funny because
she has a parting line, doesn't she?
Yeah, she's like, oh, like something. What was it?
She says something. I don't know. You're gonna have to edit this out, but she has a great line of something like, when you're old, when something. You have to edit this, but we have to. I don't know if I want to find it. It's going to take too long.
Yeah. So
she has let's just say she has a great line. And she swooped out, and go ahead.
Wouldn't it be funny if, like, in the movie, if like they took her, and then you hear them like she just kept like yelling at them, yelling up in the distance, and then they just throw her back in the window because they don't want to deal with her.
Take her back. Shit.
Yeah, they're like, nah.
Well, you can have her back, Max. I don't want her.
Can I have like a different family member back?
I say that to my kids all the time. What if someone comes in and take us? Like, dude, they're gonna bring you back in like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Just give it some time.
It'll be fine. So the elves also throw something into the fire that like
diminishes the fire, so Krampus.
Yeah, so Krampus could get in. And on the roof, they hear some clicking and clacking
and the bells. I love the bells. That's very symbolic of what he's representing.
Jingle bells.
Jingle bells.
And the grandmother, Ami, she sacrifices her herself so that they could buy some time and get to the tow truck. And so we see where Ami comes face to face with Krampus.
And who's the only one that wants to save Ami?
Max. Oh no, not Max. It's actually Max.
It's actually Max's dad, but
Yeah.
Max makes the reference, and then his father goes to try and save them. But the reason that Max makes the reference is because he understands what she told him earlier is that someone has to be sacrificed, but he doesn't want it to be her.
Right. Yep. And so we see where she comes face to face with Krampus, and this is the first time we actually get to see Krampus up close. And
Not as scary as I thought it'd be.
I love his hollowed out eyes.
Was that like,
no.
Is he wearing like human skin?
Yeah, it looks like it's all like saggy
Yeah.
and weird, and
I like that he's not terrible to look at,
No,
but still
it's perfect.
It's still terrifying.
looks
So
like-
it was a really good choice.
Do you know what he is? And this whole movie is. It's like little kid horror,
Yeah,
like gateway
Yes.
horror for
Yeah.
kids.
yeah.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Because it's like you look at it and you know it's like a horror movie, but it's not like so grotesque that you're like vomiting into your
Yeah.
fireplace.
So I hope to God that my kids don't listen to this. I doubt that they do. But like when my kids are old enough, I'm going to like preach to them that like just because you don't feel this way anymore about Santa, it is now your responsibility to help the younger kids believe, which I kind of got that from Max is that like, yeah, it's no longer for me, but that doesn't mean that I can't still keep it alive for the ones before me, which I
Right.
think is part of the magic of Christmas is that like even once you're done believing, it's now on you to help the other younger generations believe and help to keep it alive for them.
I've been celebrating all wrong because I've been really into taking hope
You
from
tell
people.
I was going to say the number of little kids that you tell Santa doesn't exist
Yeah.
is mind-boggling.
Uncalled for.
And like in July you'll do it to little
Yeah.
kids. It doesn't make
I pull
any
kids
sense to me.
Right,
Yeah.
I pull them right over. I'm like, Tooth Fairy, not real. Santa
Santa-
Claus, nope.
The number of kids that leave crying here is
Yeah.
it doesn't make any sense.
Do you remember when
That
I
was
had
no
the
business.
decapitated head of the real Easter Bunny and I propped it up for all to see?
I don't-
That's a different story, so we're
Yeah.
going to move on.
He had a steak and everything. It was
Yeah,
it
it
was
was
too much. It was too much gore. Is what I
too
would
much.
say. Yeah,
Too
it's too much.
But yeah, no, it's funny that you brought that whole tradition thing up because I was like, I think I'm going to show my kids Krampus so that they don't act up on Christmas.
So you're using it as a tool.
Form of abuse
Yeah.
in a weird way.
Right.
Psychological
No, I'm just
abuse.
kidding. So Adam
Psychological
Scott-
warfare.
Yeah.
Right. So Adam Scott, Toni Collette, Linda, Max, and Stevie all tread through the storm. And Adam Scott tries to hold off.
Now this is the scene I'm
creatures.
talking about. That's
Yeah.
great snow, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
Dude, everything
they're
looks great.
literally trying to like trudge their way.
Trudging. When you're
Yeah.
trudging, that's good snow.
And Adam
90s
Scott
snow.
tries to hold them off, and he's like, shooting one here, shooting one there, and unfortunately, all the creatures get the best of him. And then we see where Linda and Toni Collette's character, they get Max and Stevie to the tow truck, but at the cost of their own lives. And so we see, first Linda gets taken off. And then we see, Toni Collette gets taken. So Max and Stevie are left alone in this tow truck. And Max is trying to start it, and he's trying to start it, but it's just not working.
And it's at this point in the movie where I realize what is going to happen next and what the overall theme is that Max will be the lone survivor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just know, and I literally say to my wife, I was like, Stevie doesn't have a chance.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Even from the beginning of the movie, that kid's going.
You know that kid's, yeah.
It's a
Yes.
miracle she survived as long as she did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was against the odds.
Right. Who had money on Stevie?
Not
Nobody.
me. No one did.
I
No
would
one.
have thought, at the very least, he would be in that tow truck with Ami.
Yes.
Yeah.
Didn't happen.
Yeah.
We got Stevie instead.
We got Stevie instead. And so the elves catch up to them, and they grab Stevie and they pull her off, pull her away into the snow. And Max, he tries to chase after them, and that's when he comes face to face with Krampus. And I love Krampus is like, we actually get to see his eyes this time, and his pupils are like it's like orange, and it's so cool. Again, awesome makeup.
I was gonna, since you're talking about eyes, there's the scene where Krampus faces off against Omi,
Yeah.
and they're in there, and she has the biggest, most black eyes, like just barely a hint of white in it. that I
Yeah.
thought was beautifully shot. It looked great. Again, like you're saying,
Yes.
it's some of the stuff just looks cool. Even if you don't like the story or anything like that, just some of the images, like if you were to take stills from it, it just looks cool.
It's like
Yes.
a live action storybook.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, definitely. And like I said, like even I love that storybook aspect with her flashback. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So
This is very much like a story you could like sit down and tell a kid by like a
Yeah.
campfire or something. You know,
it's so cool.
not campfire, fireplace.
Fireplace.
You don't take your
If I
kids
saw this
camping
as a
at Christmas.
kid,
Well, you could.
I would have first off, I would have loved this movie.
Oh,
definitely
for
as
sure.
a kid. Yeah. But I think I would even be like that part in particular. I would have been like, oh, that's cool, and I probably would have been in school the next day trying to draw some of that stuff.
I got in trouble for that when I was in like 6th grade, by the way, because I was really like hardcore into like horror movies. And I remember this is a real story. I'll tell you. I had this notebook, and I drew like Jason on there, and like Freddy and Michael Myers, and my teachers they saw it, and I guess they were kind of disturbed by it, so they called my parents in for a meeting, and then my mom looked at what they were upset about, and she was like, "Why did you call me in here?
I got shit.
He
to
likes
do.
horror movies."
Yeah.
Like, no, we think he's obsessed with death, and she's like, "I'm going home."
Yeah. What are you doing? You're wasting my time, school time. It's unnecessary.
Yeah.
If they had opened up the notebook, though, it would have said, "I'm going to kill my parents tonight." So that's something they should have been concerned by, what was actually in the notebook.
Nope. They're only concerned about what's on the surface.
Yeah.
No, it's so funny because I often drew in my notebooks too, and sometimes it
About
would
killing
be-
your parents?
No, it would be like Freddy and Jason.
Yeah.
Hell, like for some reason I love drawing Pinhead, and I don't know why. And it's just funny because
good at it.
no teachers care to look at my books at all.
No, never.
He's a lost cause.
He's a lost.
I saw him sliding down a hill on some Beatles records.
The kid, he needs to go.
Are you guys like good artists or something? Because the only thing I could pull off was that S. Do you know the S with the three lines and the three lines on the bottom?
I know
That was
that.
all I could
I
draw.
liked the drawings in your diary.
Which ones, Rory?
The unicorns mostly. They were cute.
Yeah. That was
You
a
don't
good
know
look.
what to say, do you?
Good looking
Thank you.
unicorn.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, we knew. We're
Yeah.
like, that's a unicorn.
I like it.
There's no mistaking it.
Right.
It was clearly a unicorn.
Yeah.
Although the horn on its head looked a little... Let's move on.
Yeah. Loser. So... no, I'm just kidding. So Max, he comes face to face with Krampus, and Krampus actually gives him the same ornament that he once gave to the grandmother.
He re-gifted.
He regifted the Krampus ornament, and he leaves
No one
Max
wants
there
this.
alone. He leaves him alone to suffer the consequences of what he wished for, right? And so Krampus walks away, and Max just we hear, you know, the dialogue from earlier of what the grandmother said.
The flashback of everything that has led us to this point.
Yeah, and so he's like, no, like he doesn't give up. So he actually tracks along after Krampus, and he finds Krampus with his demonic sleigh and all like the creatures and elves and stuff,
Partying.
just hanging out, ready to go,
Victorious.
getting ready to leave. And
We're about to hit my favorite moment in the entire film.
Performing
But
a-
keep going.
oh yeah, so
Performing a seance of some sort where they've built like a demonic pit in order for them to worship.
yes, it's like almost like a sacrificial.
I can't wait to get
pit.
to your favorite part. I can't wait. Okay, go ahead. Keep going.
And so Max throws the ornament, and he's like, I don't want it. I want to take back my wish. And we see, you know, the ornament kind of sink into the ground, and it opens like this little like portal basically to
Hell.
And
Awesome.
he asks Krampus, he's like, take me instead. Take me.
Mm-hmm.
Leave my family. I'll sacrifice myself. And this is the you know, like one of those
Yeah.
moments where he's like, I learned from grandmother, you know, I'm gonna sacrifice myself for my family.
I'm gonna take one for the team.
Right. And Krampus, you know, like looks at him, and it's a beautiful moment, and he kind of like wipes the little tear
I
away.
love that when that claw comes out. I think it's
Yeah.
very subtle and very I don't know. It not, I don't want to say moving because that's too much of an emotion, but it gave something to me, something along the lines of feelings where he just swipes the tear off from him and feels his emotion.
Well, this is my favorite part of the movie.
Oh, okay.
Because the kid is like crying, and Krampus is coming off like he's having a moment with him, and then they just laugh and mock him.
Yes.
Yeah,
Right in his
so
face.
funny.
Right in his face.
I remember seeing that in the theater for the first time, and I just could not stop laughing because it's like building up to be a moment like, you've touched my heart. I'll give your family back. Instead, they're just like, we're not giving your family back, and they laugh in his face.
Yeah.
It's so
you
funny.
think you thought? Nuh-uh.
Yeah. That's not how it works.
That's not
no.
how this is going to go down.
And so they throw Stevie into the pit first, and he's like screaming, and then Krampus picks up Max.
I love a pickup by the... Yeah, that's great.
And he just like...
It's like a
Krampus
dangle.
is huge, too. He's like maybe like 8 feet.
I would
9
hope
feet.
so, at minimum.
Yeah, at minimum. And so
On
he
a good
picks
day.
Max up like no problem. And he drops Max into the pit. And as he's falling, we see that it cuts to the next day. And Max wakes up in his bedroom.
What we assume is Christmas Day.
Yeah, because he looks at
Goes
the
to
advent calendar. He pulls it open.
The
and there's-
25th day is open. Yep.
Yep. And so, he looks outside. The storm seems gone. And when he opens his bedroom door, he actually hears, the mutterings of his family downstairs. And you see this moment. This is great acting by Max, the actor, MJ. I forget his last name, but he has this moment of like, oh my gosh. And it hits
It
you
worked,
too.
yeah.
Like it works so well. He conveys that emotion so well that you automatically see the relief in his heart, like in his what he's feeling. And so he rushes downstairs, and the family's all together. They're all laughing and kind of having a good time. Like
Coming up on my second favorite part of the movie.
yeah, and so they all are handing out gifts to each other, and Max is just like grateful for everyone that's there.
Happy and finally satisfied to the conclusion that what he originally wanted is kind of happening for him.
Right, and
Wish came true.
His wish came true, yeah.
yeah, and so we see they're handing out gifts, and one person gives Max his gift, and everyone's opening, and they're like, "Hey, are you okay, Max?" And he's like, "I'm just really grateful for all of you guys." And then they're like, "Well, open your gift, buddy." And so he opens it.
So
he
it's at this point where he gets the gift, and I'm like, is there a filter over this?
Oh, for sure.
Okay, so but go ahead.
To give it that like soft, warm.
But like
yeah.
I it gives me the inclination that like, okay, wait a second. It feels like there's this
It's like a dream.
dreamy
yeah.
filter over it,
Right.
and I
It's a
didn't know it
beautiful
was
touch.
gonna. And
Yes.
I
And as he opens the gift, he looks down, and it's the ornament from Krampus. And that's when he pulls it from the box, and he starts to remember everything.
and he
Like,
realizes what's.
and we hear again the sound design, like in editors and stuff. They put in all this dialogue of the family fighting and arguing over Christmas, but also like
I think some of the deaths
experiences.
and
As each person's voice is kind of heard in that flashback over,
are we led to believe that each of the characters is hearing their own?
I think they all start to like remember their own.
Yeah, like it's
Like,
all
their own
coming.
demise.
It's
Yeah.
all coming to them and realizing like this isn't right.
Yeah.
and it's all kind of slowly come back to them. But my second favorite part of this movie that made me laugh the hardest is that the dog remembers too. Because it shows the dog. The dog. It's such great dog acting because the dog's literally like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's
Again,
so
guys,
good.
So good.
He's the best actor in the movie.
You're
I don't
not
give a
going to
fuck.
get this kind of breakdown on animal acting, like mice acting and dog acting. You're not going to get it anywhere else but Freakquels.
I actually, when I was in college, I majored in animal acting.
You majored in that? What the fuck was your minor?
They said it's a dead-end career, but I am going to prove them wrong.
Yeah. So the movie
It's a dead art.
pans out from the living room where they're all kind of like remembering all this horrible stuff, and it pans out of the living room window, and it keeps going past the house, past the skyline.
And like he said, when they zoom out, just
Yeah.
a beautiful frame
Yeah.
of what has transpired there.
right,
Yeah.
and then and we see they actually are trapped inside of a snow globe that's put down by Krampus along like this long line of other, families that are
stuck in this purgatory.
Probably like
that
ones
is,
have had like wishes.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like people that probably made the same kind of wish. Like
Yeah.
it's almost like a trophy room.
Yes. It reminded me of the room from like Jeepers Creepers a little bit. Yeah.
What is Jeepers
and also
Creepers?
this whole ending, it kind of had like a Twilight Zone ending.
Yes. And I am in favor of those kind of endings.
Me too.
Like
It's uncomfortable.
Yeah, it leaves you so uncomfortable and so like, oh man, like
What the hell just happened?
that sucks. They're like literally stuck forever, you know.
And it's got that like that dream soft like like oh it's a beautiful Christmas
Yeah.
day, but really when you think about it, none of them wanted to be in the same room for 3 days, and now they're stuck in that house together for all eternity.
forever.
So it's in a sense like a purgatory.
Yeah, the
hell.
worst possible punishment for them.
Yeah.
And one more thing that I just have to mention, because then the movie ends, and then it goes to the credits, the end credits, and as they roll, we see another funny joke by Michael Dougherty, where he actually, I don't know if you watched all the way to the end or whatever, but he has all these pictures of different families of the crew and the filmmakers that are having fun Christmas, like all different like Polaroids on the side.
Yeah.
I thought that was a really fun joke
Yeah.
from like the director being like, look at all these great Christmases though. Like, so I love this movie, and I loved it when I first saw it. Definitely, I bought it when it came, out
Me too.
on Blu-ray and stuff. No, but it was a great film, and I love it, and it was such a joy to watch again. And I think this is my third time probably watching it.
Okay.
I don't know.
Dude, it's weird. You and I had a very similar experience with this movie because I also saw it in the theater. I bought it on Blu-ray, watched it when I bought it on Blu-ray, haven't watched it since, watched it last night, and just loved it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I remember like really liking it in the theater, but like last night I had like the best time watching it. You know?
It was so fun. Like it was, again, it's like one of those movies where it's I'm there and I'm trying to write out stuff, and I'm like just enjoying the movie way more.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to stay focused.
So
Yeah.
I'll say this. I kind of mentioned this earlier. When Legendary pops up on your screen, there's like somewhat of a comfort of like, this is gonna be good, or not even this is gonna be good. I'm probably going to enjoy this.
Sure.
So as soon as that happened, I was in on this, like fully in on this, and this was a great movie. We've talked about this before, but some of these movies that we really enjoy are hard for us to talk about, which is weird, and maybe you can explain it better than I can. Why is that?
In terms of like doing an episode of Freakquels?
Yes.
Because I think the movie...
No. We could trust me. We can talk. The three of
About
us can talk
anything.
about anything and have a good conversation.
But to me, like the movies that we watch that sometimes have like a little bit of like awkwardness or ineptitude here and there, they're fun just to riff on. But again, as we always say, all the movies that we've watched so far we like. Like we like these movies.
Especially
so we're not
this one.
saying like oh look at these failures of movies, because I love them. I have like memories and things I can talk about for the rest of my life with these movies. But they are lots of fun to riff on certain kinds of movies. So when you see Krampus or Totally Killer, and to some extent even Fright Night, it's a little harder to riff because you're just like, these people who made these movies, they know what they were doing.
we really enjoy it, and we have to look at that and maybe just change the dynamic a little bit of how we approach those movies, because I love doing those movies where we can rip on shit, but I also really enjoy you guys giving me movies that I actually enjoy and will take away and be like, yeah, I'd watch that again.
Yeah, we should give him some stuff he hates.
Yeah.
I feel like that's all you've
Here
done,
we go.
other than like 2 or 3 of
Here
them.
it comes.
You know what's a really good movie for the family? Solace, 120 Days of Torture.
So, wait, I don't know if I've made this joke. We watched A Bug's Life the other day, and Netflix suggested that we watch The Human Centipede.
Oh,
So
interesting.
maybe me and the kids are going to watch The Human Centipede later
It's
this
the
week.
sequel.
It's a sequel?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm looking forward to
The
that.
kiddies will love it.
All right.
Mentioning Dave before, you went to see Die Hard with Dave.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw on his windshield, no, like his back window, he has a sticker. It says "Human Centipede Survivor."
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
Great.
Kudos, Dave.
yeah, kudos to Dave. But yeah, I really love this movie, and I really don't have anything bad to say about it.
It's hard.
It's a great movie. I definitely recommend it to anyone listening.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Were we touched by the Christmas spirit?
Maybe.
I think so.
That might have something to do with
Yeah.
it.
Wow, this is the first ever Freakquels Christmas miracle.
All right, now,
We didn't have anything nasty to say.
No.
We didn't riff.
I know.
We celebrated a great movie that all you cats at home should just go out, buy, rent. Don't stream it.
All you cool kids at home,
Yeah.
go check this out.
Go check the movie out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, Rory, show me on the doll where the Christmas spirit touched you.
Everywhere.
Oh, God.
And it was awesome.
So, well, let's for this movie, I think we always like to do is emojis. So
And
what
Rory's
emojis?
going last today for a very special
For a very
episode.
specific reason.
Yeah,
He's
for a
going
very
last.
special episode.
Do you want to go first? You can go
Yeah,
first.
sure.
Go ahead.
I gave this a little snowflake
Okay.
because of the snowstorm.
Got you.
A little snowman.
Little snowman.
Yep. And a little clown face, and that's for the Jack in the Box.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. I like that.
Yeah.
So actually came up with 5 for this, which is a lot for me. My first one is an axe because I was very happy to
Awesome.
see an axe used as a weapon.
Yes.
My second one was a snowman because I had the thought of like, why are those snowmen out there and why do they keep increasing? My third is a goat because man, I love a hoofed hoofed villain.
That's a good one.
Yeah. If you give me a hoofed villain, I'm in on that. Anything in the hoof stock department. I gave it a thumbs up because I really enjoyed this movie.
Yeah.
And my final one is ice cream cone because they didn't have a traffic cone. So I put an ice cream cone because Adam Scott has an episode in Parks and Recreation where he talks about the cones. And I was desperately seeking for a cone because I could not watch this movie and not think about him saying, "You forgot about the cones."
You forgot about the cones.
Such a great. I love that. He's
love Parks and Rec.
This cast is the best cast that we've had in any movie we've done. Right? No.
I think so.
It had Champ Kind. It had Adam Scott.
I think it's
it had-
probably... Well,
Tony-
Fright Night's got a pretty good cast.
No, No. You're right. Fright Night has a really
Even
good
Black
cast.
Christmas, though. I know we kind of riffed on the movie, but
Yeah.
that was a pretty solid
It's
cast.
a good cast used poorly, though.
Yeah.
Krampus
true.
and Fright Night are like
Yeah.
great cast with a
Yeah.
lot to work with.
How they used that cast made me dislike that movie more.
Can I tell my emojis?
No.
Okay, fine. No emojis this week.
All right, episode's over. Okay, go ahead, Roy.
I actually found a gingerbread man.
What?
What?
I did. Type in ginger.
I feel like he's just making up
No, go ahead.
emojis
Look
at
it
this
up.
point.
Look it up. So I got gingerbread man.
Yes.
I got snowman, 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 snowflake, axe, a snowflake, and the globe. Snow globe, motherfuckers.
Oh.
You
Great.
can't hear it right now. Ready? Drop the mic.
That was a...
I dropped my phone, and I hope I didn't break the screen.
That was beautiful.
But the joke was worth
no,
it.
that was very well done. I appreciated that. That was good.
And,
I want to say a week ago, I had a customer at the restaurant who goes by the name of Jon Snow.
yes.
I don't know if you've heard of him before.
Yes.
He has a band, I think. Does he have any band names or anything
Yes,
that we should?
he does. He has a few band names, and they're all, like,
One of them
awesome.
is Issues, I think. He does
Yes.
like a Korn tribute, right? Yeah.
Yep.
What else does he have? He has a
The Red Hat Society,
Red Hat Society. Okay.
the Limp Bizkit cover band.
What a great name.
Awesome. And then there's what's
Is
the
it
other one?
Godsmack Band? No.
No, that's Issues.
No, that's Korn.
Oh no, that's Korn.
I don't know if he had a.
Oh yeah, Realign, which is the Godsmack. I know.
Okay.
I should know that.
All right.
I have a T-shirt of Realign.
Regardless, this kid is talented. Check him
Yes.
out. His name is Jon Snow. Check out any of those bands we just mentioned. But he is affixed to someone that we like, and her name is Elle. And Elle, I think, is our number one listener because she listens to every podcast. My brother might fight her to the death for that title, but she had mentioned that she is consistently emailing the podcast with critiques and notes and things like that.
Right.
Critiques. Yeah.
Critiques.
How can you critique us? We're perfect.
Right.
Yeah. What could you possibly have to say about us?
Yeah. I also let's give a shout out to Adam Farley.
Adam Farley.
Friend of the show, listener of the
Yeah.
show, and I can't wait for him to listen to.
I can't wait.
The last episode, because he's gonna probably die laughing.
There's him, and then there's Mr. Matt Rinaldi, which we also have a tie to with Mr. Jim Reynolds.
Yes, and Jim Reynolds and Adam have music on Spotify together. Matt Rinaldi, another musician, he has I forget his band's name though.
I don't even know his band's name.
Yeah.
He's a great guy.
Great.
You will eventually see his music when The Burden of Beauty comes out at some point. But you can definitely check out the trailer. He's involved in that.
Yeah.
But the wonderful thing that Matt Rinaldi reached out to me to was I mentioned previously that Jim Reynolds did him and his father recorded my band's first demo, Deacon Steve. So I told Matt about this, and apparently I was friends with Matt's brother for a very long time. We traveled in the same crowds. We went to the same shows. And once he mentioned him, I was like, Jesus Christ,
Yes.
Not only do I know your brother, I know him vividly.
Yeah.
He reached out to Jim Reynolds, which Matt works with him, and he has the original copies of my band's demo. Wow. So I am beyond stoked to get in touch with him to get the original files of my 2001 Deacon Steve band's tracks. So I can't wait to get that. And me and Rory are going to get super drunk on Long Island iced teas, and we're going to mix this album together.
Sure.
Yeah.
We'll do that. Next week,
Yes.
we're going to have a Christmas tree up, and we're going to open up all of our emails.
Our email presents?
It's going to be an unwrapping of emails next week.
So why don't let's lead the episode with that, and then we can do the frequels.
Do you want to give the email in case other people want to go ahead and email us?
Yeah, if you're a big loser and you just want to reach out to us because you don't have loved ones and stuff, you can reach out to us as no. Oh, sorry guys. FREAKQUELPodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's okay if no one loves them. Who could?
I don't know.
You know what's... Oh, I think I lost my sound. I don't know what happened. You know what's funny is your sister has told me that she's listened to a couple episodes, and she knows your real laugh and my real laugh versus your fake laugh and my fake laugh.
Uh-huh.
And she says we consistently laugh, real laugh on this show.
Yeah?
Which I think is good catharsis for us.
I like that she's noticed when we're not being real humans.
Oh my God, yeah.
She's just I know when you're faking emotions.
Which is to be fair because she works with us. And how often do you have to fake emotions here?
It was so
Often.
weird is today, every time I laughed, my voice is kind of shot, right? But I realized when I try to laugh, I have no laugh today. I'm like,
That's good. We'll enhance that.
Yeah.
Enhance. Yeah.
It's I can't do it.
So scumbags at home listening, if you want to be a part of our great big Christmas episode where we open up all of the emails we've ignored underneath the Christmas tree, be a part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stop dragging your feet. Grow
Yeah.
up.
Just
Write us an
grow up.
email.
Do the things you need
Go
to
on,
do.
go on Spotify, Apple, wherever you listen to your podcast. Follow us, like us, subscribe. Leave
Rate
us a nice
us.
comment sometimes.
Rate us.
Rate our stuff.
I would like to point out at this point, we are now at 10:30 p.m. We're about 2 hours and 18 minutes into the podcast, and Becca is fucking sleeping.
She's passed out.
Wow.
She has given up on her Nintendo Switch. She has given up on the episode. She has given up on Rory. She's given up on all of us.
It was the jug of wine that did her in.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, but there's that. But I'm just happy she's here at this
Me
point.
too.
Yeah, it's great. Okay, so
Let's draw on her face.
a little mustache.
A mustache.
All right, me and my boy have given our plugs. Do you have anything you want to plug?
Ravenview Productions
I like
is always
that.
a fun thing on the Facebook and the YouTube, and be expecting some fun stuff coming up soon. We got, I don't know if you said it because I wasn't listening to you guys talk. I just think about myself.
Hey, I don't blame you.
Fourth Cut Reviews, I know that's a
Yes.
thing.
Yeah.
And then Will Perna has
Yeah.
a band called Variant
Variant
Season. If
Seasons.
you're not listening, then you're just as awful as I suspected.
Yeah.
Give them a listen. They've got some music. If you like heavy music It's so enjoyable.
I would say nay. I would say if you like good music, check them out.
Actually, if anything, you want to listen to some like music that's recorded and produced better than stuff you probably listen to at home, that it's like professionally done.
And it's
These
authentic.
guys will blow
Yeah.
you away.
Yeah, these guys care about music.
They do.
care
They
about what
love
they're
music,
doing.
and it comes through in everything that they do.
Agreed. Yeah.
I
So,
agree.
Will Pern, if you'd like to send me a bag of money for the compliments, I'll take it.
I will not see any of it. I
You
know
won't
I
see a dime.
because my family is starving.
Your family is starving.
and they will never.
No, they're not going to see a
See.
dime of this.
EJ and I have made more money off this podcast.
I can't imagine.
We have so much money between us that we'll never spend it all, and you're still not getting a goddamn
You'll never
dime.
be able
Not
to
a
light
cent.
that fire in that fireplace, buddy.
Yeah. You know, your Christmas spirit, you're going to have to find it in Christmas spirit, so start drinking.
Or I'll have to crack it open in can
Pretty
form.
good joke.
That was good.
Thank you.
Yeah,
But,
I love that your family's starving.
yeah. Hey, you know what's cool? Christmas miracles do come true.
I like that.
Christmas wishes come true.
But the only place they come true is here.
On FREAKQUELS.
On
Wait, let's do it again. Hold on, I ruined it.
No, you're good.
I ruined it. Let's try it again. Hold on. Pause. Let's say, Christmas miracles do come true.
But only on.
On
FREAKQUELS.